everyone, and welcome back. So today I wanted to share with you a really quick at-home acne spot treatment that you can make that works wonders. It has worked really well for me for a very long time, and I use it whenever I feel like I need that spot treatment. And what this mainly does is it helps you sort of bring your pimples to head, and also sort of eliminate the redness that you get from them, and it helps you like shrink them as well. And it works for me every single time I use it. I was actually going to wait until I made my next batch to show you how it's done, but it's pretty simple, so I thought why not show it to you now so you can get the benefits of it. And a little bit goes a very long way, so once you make a batch, it's going to last you for a very long time. And that's that. It's very simple. I'll show you what ingredients I use and how to make it, and it doesn't go bad, so you can store it because it doesn't have any water. But every time I want to use it, I pretty much go ahead and take a popsicle stick because it's the least messy way, or any kind of applicator that you have, maybe even a tiny little brush would be fine, I guess, and just apply it to the spots. I'll be very honest, it's not something you can do when you're going to bed because it's quite messy, and it's not something you can do when you're going outside. But the days that you're home and just reading or doing errands or whatnot, you can use it for, and that's what I do right now, like on my weekends and stuff, or when I come home and I wash my face, I go ahead and put it on, and I take it off before I go to bed so everything doesn't get messy, because it does have charcoal in it. What I would recommend is putting it in a small little jar, because tiny bit goes a long way, and mixing it this way is much easier. You have more control, and this is kind of like the best amount to have on hand. Once you run out, you can go ahead and make it. This is just a tiny little glass sample jar that I saved from like another product. You can use whatever sample jar you have. It just works really well that way. See, it looks like a gel there, but it's not. It's very, very simple. And let's go ahead and go over the ingredients. You're just going to mix all of these together and have a little paste and apply that on your spots whenever you feel a pimple coming on. So the first ingredient you need is your good old bentonite clay. This is the Aztec Secret one, which is really, really expensive. I get it from Amazon. I'll put a link to it down below. And you need 1 part of this clay. I think any clay that you have on hand should be fine, so don't feel the need to go ahead and buy these ingredients. I mainly wanted to put it out there because if you're into natural skincare, there's a high likelihood that you'll have all of these ingredients on hand, and maybe I thought I can show you another way of using them up. The next thing that you can do, that you're going to need, is some charcoal, activated charcoal powder, and any will do. You have to have equal parts of the clay as well as the charcoal in this little acne treatment, right? And another thing that I've also tried that works really well is, let's say you don't have 2 of these ingredients, but you have the powdered charcoal toothpaste thing that a lot of people use. Is pretty trendy right now. That also works. If you have that, you don't need both of these ingredients, because I think those you usually have bentonite clay in them, so they're like a mixture of bentonite clay and charcoal powder and coconut oil, something like that. But those powders work really well as well. So that will be like your dry ingredient, right? Half of the clay, half of the charcoal powder. And what I do is I kind of just like put them in the jar myself. Like I use like a little popsicle stick, so I'll take like a little bit of the charcoal powder on popsicle sticks, put in the jar, a little bit of the bentonite clay, put in the jar, and then sort of give the jar a quick shake so the powdered ingredients can mix together. And then the last ingredient that you're going to need is some tea tree oil. And what I do is I put in, let's say, about 10 to 12 drops of the tea tree oil into the mixture of the powders, and then I mix it up with a popsicle stick, and then I add more tea tree oil as I see the need, because you want to form like a nice paste with this, right? You don't want it to be dry because it'll fall off and the charcoal will get all over and it'll be really messy. Also do this over like your kitchen sink or bathroom sink, or somewhere where you can wash it off if you get the charcoal all over the place, because it can get really, really messy. If you think that the tea tree oil is going to be extremely strong for you, you can go ahead and put like any kind of facial oil, or like carrier oil or something like that, you can kind of add that little bit of that in as well to dilute the tea tree. But to be very honest, I only use tea tree. It works wonders. I have not tried it with the carrier oil, but that's like another option. But the reason why the tea tree works is because it helps to dry up the pimple and sort of help it heal faster, and then the clay and the charcoal are going to help you sort of draw the impurities out, right? So you don't want it to be like super moist, which is what the carrier oil or the water would do. All three ingredients kind of just like help you draw whatever's in there, so you don't get pimple to the head where you can just take it out. It sounds disgusting, but I think it's really easy. And then after I clean it up, I put it on again, and that kind of helps it shrink it up, and it has worked for me every single time. Otherwise, I would not be telling you. I have had times when my skin was very problematic and I would have a black dot here and here and here and here and here, and my mom would be like, what are you doing? And I was like, don't worry about it. I use it for like maybe like a day, all day when I'm home at weekend, and then it's nice and clear, see? So you just get it on to your little popsicle stick, just like this. And then you just go ahead and dab it on whatever area you have your pimple, and that is it. And that's why this tiny little bit will probably last you a very, very long time. You can use anything, like little sample jars that you get from like Sephora or whatever, or a tiny little container you have. But that is my spot treatment that I use and I love. Again, if you have these ingredients on hand, feel free to try it out. I wouldn't go ahead and buy them out, just to make this, because I'm sure there are other things you can do for yourself as well. But I just wanted to show you how I use them, so maybe you get one more way of using the natural ingredients yourself. So please let me know how you like this video, and let me know if you try this yourself. And I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you again next time. Goodbye for now.